All right, today we are going to talk about what do the angles in a triangle add up to, all right? And this is what we're going to do for the next couple of days. So what I have here is I've cut out 3 different triangles. I've got, this looks like kind of like a right triangle. I have an obtuse triangle, and then I have an acute triangle. And on each of these triangles, I have labeled the angles as A, B, and C. And so what we want to do is we want to know if I took angle A and angle B and angle C and I added them all up, what would we get? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out each one of these angles off of its triangle. So I'm going to cut off angle C, angle B, and angle A. Okay, and I'm going to do that for each one of these triangles real quick. All right, so I'm going to start with the just the pink ones because that's what I've got. And I'm going to take these angles and I'm going to line them up, each one of their vertexes, okay? Here's the vertex on this one, the vertex on this one, and the vertex on this one. I'm going to put all of their vertexes side by side and line these angles up and see what we get. So angle A beside angle C. There we go. And then angle B. Okay, when you take all 3 of your angles and you line them up, what you should notice is what we've got here is a straight line, which I have already drawn a straight line. We know a straight line has 180 degrees from here to here. That's 180 degrees. So if I take my 3 angles and I put them on this line, we will see that all 3 of them side by side together sit on this line, and that's something that we've used a lot in our class. I can't get my finger off of it. We've used that in our class. We have said anytime you have angles that are side by side, they're adjacent angles, and they sit on a line like this, they add up to 180 degrees. Okay, and I'll show you again with the yellow angles. So I've got angle A. Here's its vertex. Angle B, I'm going to line it up vertex to vertex, and then angle C as well. And again, what we get is we get a straight line. Okay, what that means is A plus B plus C forms this half circle. We know that a half of a circle is 180 degrees. And here's the last one. We're going to do angle A, angle C, it doesn't matter which order, and then angle B. When you put all 3 of the angles side by side with their vertexes all aligned, you see that these 3 angles sit on this line, okay, and they form 180 degrees. Okay, so to answer our question, what do the angles in a triangle add up to? They add up to 180 degrees. If you've got a triangle, A, B, and C, and its angles are labeled A, B, and C, we know that angle A plus angle B plus angle C is always going to be 180 degrees no matter what kind of triangle it is. Alright, so now that we know what the angles in a triangle add up to, what that can do is that will help us find missing angles in a triangle. So I'm going to write this down. The angles in a triangle will always add to 180 degrees. That's what I just showed you in that video. Okay, so for example, what we can do with this, let's say we have a triangle that looks like this, and we know one of the angles is 52 degrees, and we know this angle is 62 degrees, and we want to find this angle. It's very easy. Since we know that all 3 of them add to 180, this plus this plus this equals 180, to find the missing angle, we're going to add these 2 guys together. That gives us 114. So if these 2 add to 114, to find the missing angle, we're going to subtract that from 180. And that gives us 66. So that means our missing angle here is 66. And just to quickly check ourselves, 66 plus 62 plus 52 does add to 180, so we're good there. All right, so Very simple thing for us to do is to find a missing angle, because we know that they all three will always add up to 180. Let's do another one, a different looking triangle. So here, if we are told that that is a right angle, sorry. Okay, so let's say we know that this is a right triangle with a right angle, and let's say we know this angle is 38 degrees and we want to find this missing angle. Okay, again, we know all three of them in a triangle, the angles add up to 180. If they told us this one's 38 and this one is right, that means this one is 90 degrees. So we're going to add these two together. 90 plus 38 is 128. And then we're going to subtract that from 180 degrees to find the missing angle. And we get 52. So that means our missing angle is 52. All right, I'm going to show you one more thing, just because we always put our algebra and we mix it into some geometry problems. So let's say we have another triangle. And let's say this angle is, I don't know, 38 degrees. This one is 72 degrees, and this angle is x plus 8. And we want to find x. Okay, before we have to find x, we first need to figure out what is this angle to begin with. So we're going to start this problem just like the ones above. To find the missing angle, you add the two that you know, 72 and 38, and I got 110. And then you take those two and you subtract it from 180. So that means this angle right here is 70 degrees. So if this angle is 70 degrees, we know that x plus 8 is 70 degrees. We can solve these equations. That's what we spent 9 weeks doing. We're going to subtract 8 to get rid of that. And so x is therefore 62 degrees. And remember, that does not mean this angle is 62. It means x is 62. If you plug in 62, this whole angle would be 70, which is what we already figured out. All right, let's do one more of those just to make sure we've got plenty of examples for when we do our worksheet in a second. So let's do, let's say this angle is 100 degrees. This one is going to be 25 degrees, and this one is 4x minus 7. And we want to find x again. Before we can find x, we first need to figure out what is this angle altogether. So if you know two angles, to find the missing angle, you add your two known ones together. That's 125. And then you subtract those from 180. And that is 55. So that means this angle is 55 degrees. So then we say, all right, now we just have to solve for x. This angle is equal to 55. To solve this, we're going to add 7, 62, and then divide by 4. And then 62 divided by 4 is 15.5. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. Pretty easy, pretty quick. Finding the missing angle of a triangle is always going to be very easy because all three of them add to 180.